Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be looking at Pinterest. So I've taken you guys through our kind of general plans for the house in terms of like any structural changes, just kind of bigger changes like flooring and windows and things like that, what our kind of plans are renovation wise, but I've not actually taken you guys through any of like my kind of ideas, how I want to style rooms, different kind of things that I want to try and incorporate when we are designing the rooms. So I thought I would take you guys through a Pinterest board today. Pinterest is my #1 place to go whenever I need inspiration, when I want to see what an idea would potentially look like, and just get any ideas for like little hacks or anything like that. So if you don't have a Pinterest account, get one because they are so good. I haven't got that many boards actually. There's some which I'm probably not going to go through because they're not like 100% certain, but there are a few rooms that I know for sure the kind of style I want to go for. I'm going to start with the garden one since it's first. Some of these are a bit random, like different kind of DIY ideas and stuff like that. But generally speaking for the garden, I want to keep it super simple. In terms of kind of plants, I just really like all this nice kind of vibrant green shrubbery. I'm not someone who really gravitates a lot towards like flowers and things like that. I just like the kind of green, and I like the green set against this kind of like dark wood colour as well. If you guys have seen like the house tour of our previous house, we had like a black fence and we loved it because I feel like it just makes any greenery really stand out against it because there's such a big contrast. So we're definitely looking at probably going for a much darker fence in the garden. I love this kind of vibe here with like the black kind of stained wood, the really nice kind of neutral kind of terracotta-y plant pots, and even some kind of loose stones as well. I think would be really nice to incorporate. Our garden's a little bit of a tricky one. I'll try and put in some footage here, but it has a patio with a wall and then it has a kind of sloped bit as well. It also has a massive oak tree which is about 200 years old and it's actually protected. So there's a few different kind of factors that we need to work with in the garden. One thing I've been looking at is how we kind of change out the retaining wall. We are looking at potentially we could do, I don't know if it's called gabion or gabion, I don't know, gabion baskets, which are the metal baskets filled with stones. Alternatively, we could go for more of a kind of wooden railway sleeper effect. But this is the kind of thing we're looking at, is basically how we kind of add in some steps, have a nice kind of clean looking retaining wall, but very much keeping it with the nice kind of neutrals. I want some kind of light stony colours, some wood, stained black wood as well, a bit of a mixture of everything. With the oak tree, obviously we have to keep it and we want to keep it, but I was looking at potentially making a little bit more of a feature around it, whether we do like a round kind of flower bed or something like that. We could do some really nice kind of green ground cover around it. I like the idea of putting it in like a circular flower bed that kind of encompasses the whole trunk of it. Either laying some stones around it, just something to make it kind of stand out a little bit more. I also really want to do a seating area in the kind of far corner of the garden. It's a bit of a weird shape. It's very slightly kind of triangular. It kind of goes off into the corner a little bit. Our garden is actually north facing. However, we're kind of on a bit of a hill and the back of the garden gets sun all day. It is so good. Obviously we have a bungalow, so it's not like we have a two-story house kind of blocking out the sun. The back half of the garden gets sun all day long, so I think that's a perfect place to put like a really nice little seating area. We obviously have our patio, which will put seating there as well, which will be nice because when it is super hot, it means it'll be nice and shaded and cool. But the back kind of bit of the garden, I definitely want to have a seating area there so we can go and sit in the sun when we do get some sun. So we haven't obviously decided exactly what we're going to go for. We're looking at kind of things like this. Maybe we go for a kind of loose stone. That'd probably be the cheapest way of doing it. A kind of loose stone seating area, maybe a fire pit, some nice fairy lights, some really nice kind of comfortable bench seating as well. Alternatively, we go for more of a kind of a decked style. The ground is so uneven, I think we might actually have to go for more of a decked area just so it's nice and level. We're obviously just gonna have to look into it when it comes to it. Whether it's stone or wood, I just want to add in some nice kind of natural tones to just style it up really nicely. I've also looked at doing maybe like a reclaimed kind of decking with like scaffold boards or stuff like that. There's loads of really cool things on Pinterest that I've been kind of getting inspiration from, but overall we just want to keep it really, really nice, simple, clean, pretty low maintenance. We're not really big gardeners, so anything that's low maintenance is going to be perfect for us. I've also been looking at integrating a little bit more of a path, so with having a kind of maybe potentially a decking area in that back kind of corner of the garden, having something a little bit like this with stones and like stepping stones to get there, something like that. I just want to kind of break it up into little kind of different zones in different areas. It's something we didn't massively have in our old house, but yeah, I just want to kind of have different zoned areas for different things and make the garden a lot more functional. At the moment it's an absolute mess, so something that we're definitely going to have to work on, but we're hoping this kind of spring we can start doing some stuff to it. It's going to take a while. I also definitely want to put some really nice planters and things around as well, maybe a little bit out the front of the house as well. I love these kind of really rusticy stone planters. Again, just breaks it up because I like a lot of really simple colours and simple things, but I feel like by adding in a lot more textures with things like stoneware and stuff, it's gonna just bring another element to it that I normally wouldn't have. Yeah, so I think that's everything for the garden. Next up, let's take a look at some of the lounge stuff. So just a quick recap of what the lounge looks like. It's a really, really good size, has a massive window which is south facing, so it gets so much light in here. We have this kind of brick fireplace, which I think is a really, really nice feature. We were a little bit torn on it when we first came and looked around because it's kind of off center, but we've put some of our furniture in. I think it works absolutely perfectly. I've already kind of shown you guys a sample of the flooring that we're going to get. It's just a very nice kind of light oaky style laminate flooring. So there will be wood flooring in our lounge, and that will run through, obviously you can see behind me, that will run into like the dining room, the kitchen, the hallway. So it'll be one kind of fluid flooring throughout. In terms of the fireplace, we are going to be painting it white. So I have so many different inspiration pictures on what I want this to look like. We've currently got a gas fire in there. We want to get rid of the current surround because it's a little off size wise. It's quite a small kind of fire surround. It's not the biggest chimney breast. So we're thinking of replacing it with potentially like a bioethanol fire or something like that. We could even do an electric one. We haven't looked that far into it. Alternatively, we don't even have to have a fire in there. We could do something a little bit like this where we paint out the interior black and just maybe put some really nice kind of Scandi log feature in there. Let me know what you guys think of that. Would you rather have a fireplace? Well, we're not going to put in a fully functional fireplace, but would you rather have like an electric, a bioethanol one, or would you just never use anything like that? Let me know what your thoughts are on that, because we definitely haven't made a decision, but we definitely like this kind of really simple black boxy fire feature. Another thing I want to incorporate is a kind of oak floating bean shelf as well. I just love the simplicity of that. I think we're probably going to style it maybe with like a mirror, just a few little ornaments on there just to make it look a little bit more styled, but very, very simple. In terms of general kind of like colorway and vibe, we're looking at something kind of like this. I love the idea of a light coloured sofa. That's where we're leaning at the moment. We haven't got a sofa for in here yet, so we're going to be buying something. I know some people think a light coloured sofa is mad with 2 dogs, but I really, really love this kind of colour palette. Just really like nice, bright, simplistic. We're definitely going to be looking at bringing in certain like textures and stuff like woods, leathers, things like that, just to kind of give it a little bit of a something, so it doesn't look super, super plain. We have looked at something like this with a darker sofa. I don't know if I love that as much. I think I'm very much drawn to the light sofa. We obviously haven't got a sofa yet, so until we've placed that order, it's all up in the air. But this is the kind of general look I'm going for. I just want it really nice, bright and simple. Obviously, you guys know that there is a big opening between our lounge and our dining room, which will be our kitchen diner. So we're not intending on keeping that completely open. We actually want to add some like barn doors there. So we're looking at going for something kind of similar to this, where it's a bit of a cross, like a barn door is quite a traditional sort of farmhousey style thing, but going for a far more modern door, just to kind of fit in with our aesthetic a little bit more. I know loads of you guys said, oh, why don't you do pocket doors and things like that. Unfortunately, that wall, the thickness, we would have to have beefed the wall out quite a lot to be able to fit a pocket door in there. It just wasn't going to happen. But we have been toying with the idea we either do like a solid door. There's potential to do more of a kind of glass crystal style door. We're not completely decided on that. Obviously with stuff like this, we're going to have to do it in phases. I feel like that is going to be one of the last things that we introduce to this room. So yeah. In terms of kind of coffee tables and furniture, I love something kind of like this, more of like a modern take on a coffee table. I'm also absolutely in love with these kind of pedestal style tables as well. We may have kind of made a decision on the coffee table because I found one that I fell in love with and it was like over £1,000. That is not in the budget. I have managed to get some bits together to be able to DIY one, which should be under 60 quid. So I will be sharing that with you very, very soon. If you like this kind of modern pedestal style, then watch this space because I've definitely got some stuff coming up that's along those kind of lines. But overall, just really nice, bright, airy. Yeah, I think the biggest feature is going to be painting out that brickwork. I've always wanted some sort of like brick feature wall or something, so I'm really, really excited to see how that's going to turn out. Okay, so hallway. Our hallway isn't huge at all. I've already said that we have chosen our front door. We're actually going for a solid front door with glass side lights on either side in clear glass. A lot of people commented and said that I should go for a completely glass door. We have decided we don't want to go for a glass door. That is just personal preference. I don't like the way a glass door looks for a front door, which, you know, some people do, some people don't. It's just one of the things we just didn't want to have. I understand having a solid door is going to block out a lot more light. Don't worry guys, I completely get that. It's something we have considered a lot. We didn't just make a snap decision on it. We had a long think about what we wanted to go for, and this was what we decided. So we were going for a solid front door, but we have a little bit of space to play to put some things together. So when you walk in the hallway, on the right, there is a radiator. We did think about getting a really nice looking modern radiator rather than your kind of usual ones. But I actually really like having a kind of table or a surface to put stuff on or whatever it may be. I like having that. We had that in our last house. I wanted something similar to that. So I'm thinking we're either going to buy or make a radiator cover to cover that. So we've just gone for a normal radiator, so we've not spent any extra money on that. I'll put in a picture. Actually, I've seen a radiator cover that I absolutely love from Next, but it's like 150 quid, which is crazy for a radiator cover in my opinion. But I like that it looks like a piece of furniture, but it is a radiator cover. I've also been looking at things kind of like this, different ways to make a more kind of modern, aesthetically pleasing radiator cover, but giving us more of an area that we can kind of put a nice mirror above it. We can put like maybe like a faux plant or something on it as well and style it up. So it's kind of multi-functional, has a couple of different purposes. So that is what we're thinking for that side of the room, the hallway. On the left, when you walk in, right now we have a bench there. One thing we actually didn't think about when we moved into this bungalow is we used to sit on the bottom of our stairs to put our shoes on. And we moved in here and we were like, there's nowhere to sit when you put your shoes on. So we've kind of made that a priority, is that we want to have some bench seating in the hallway just to have a little perch when you put your shoes on and stuff. I've been playing around with what I want to do there. The only thing that's a little bit annoying is that all our internet stuff is there. So I'm also looking at ways for us to potentially conceal that without compromising the signal that we get. So I'm looking at doing something kind of like this. I say kind of because I actually have exactly in my head what I want to do, and it's a similar concept to this, but it looks very different. I'm thinking of doing a kind of 2/3 height paneling with a strip along that has pegs on it, so we can, when people come over, they want to hang their coat, they can hang their coat there. And we obviously have a cupboard, like a coat cupboard anyway for our coats, but I thought it'd be nice to have a nice space for people to hang their bags and coats and stuff when they do come over. We can then incorporate bench seating under there, maybe get like a basket or something to sit under the bench or next to the bench where we can kind of hide the ugly internet boxes and stuff. But yeah, making like a really nice little moment in the hallway, maybe like a cushion, style it up, make it look a bit nicer, and not just random kind of pegs on the wall. Vibe for that will be very similar to the rest of the house, very kind of monochrome. I know some people, I feel, get my style and love the monochrome, and some people are like, it's too simple. This is all personal preference at the end of the day. Any of these kind of ideas, you could easily add colour to it. We're trying to add a lot more texture and stuff for interest, because I don't tend to get drawn towards colourful things as such. So that's something I'm trying to kind of balance in my own kind of designs that I have floating around in my head. But anyway, I think it'll be really nice. We're going to make it practical but also look really aesthetically pleasing as well. Okay, let's go over the main bathroom inspo, since this is the kind of room that leads straight off the hallway. I think I've got it pretty much set in my mind what I want. This photo here, I've pinned this. There's like so many different angles of this one bathroom that I absolutely love. I love the white vertical stack tile. I love the oak vanity. I love the sink, the black kind of hardware, the oval mirrors. I just basically love everything about this bathroom. I think it is so, so beautiful. Very much our style. One thing that I think I may do a little bit different is actually go for a darker flooring. So something like this kind of shows a little bit more what we're going for. Nice bright white, darker flooring. I wanted to go with an oak vanity because the hallway flooring is going to be a kind of light oak colour, and I thought that was a nice way to kind of tie it back into the bathroom. We currently have a bath in there. We will be keeping the bath. We'll be adding a shower screen to it, and having like a black shower, sort of slight black details like that. One thing that I shared with you guys on Instagram that you absolutely loved was this black hexagon floor. I found like a matte black hexagon floor tile. It's not too expensive, but it's not like a cheap option. Doesn't need to be a hexagon. We could go for a cheaper kind of matte black tile, but this is definitely kind of in there. I've also seen more of a herringbone style flooring in the black. I don't think I love that as much. I know a lot of people love the herringbone, but I just don't know, I just don't think I'm in love with it enough. And we're also basically going for a vertical stack tile. So like these photos that I showed you, that vertical stack tile will go around the kind of bath, which is on 3 walls. So I think it would be nice to have like the vertical stack with a hexagon or something. I think that'll go quite well. We can't fit in a double vanity. I already looked that up, and I don't really think a double vanity is really necessary in a family bathroom. I feel like that's something you'd have more in like an ensuite. So yeah, but we can fit in quite a big, like really practical storage wise, you know, loads of drawers and stuff. So that'd be really nice because we've never had that before. We have currently like that eye level storage, which we will be getting rid of because I feel like it just closes the room in. But also when you walk into the bathroom on the left, there was originally like a horrible electric towel radiator. That has actually been removed. So it means that we've actually been able to gain that little bit of space back. So we can do a really nice freestanding piece of furniture just with some extra kind of like, you know, cupboards or drawers or something, just for a little bit more storage. So we're trying to utilize as much storage as possible, but make it cute. you know. Right, I've got to show you guys some of the kitchen plans because I know you guys are dying to see it. These aren't our kitchen plans, obviously. This is kind of where our inspiration came from, but these aren't exactly what we've gone for. So just bear that in mind. I will be doing a separate video on all of the kitchen stuff and take you through the process that we went through to get to the decision. So basically, these were the cabinets that really stood out to both of us, really. Steve was like, we have to have that. We love this really simple, minimal style cupboard with, I think they're called inline pulls, those handles. So it's not a handleless kitchen, but it kind of looks a little bit handleless because the handles are so discreet. I actually asked you guys if you could guess what we were going for, and I think only one person managed to guess exactly what we were going for. So we are right now, I mean, we haven't ordered anything, we haven't committed, so let's take this all with a pinch of salt. We love the kind of matte slash satin, dark grey slash black cabinets with these kind of black finger pulls. We're definitely very much drawn towards like the black sink, the black tap, black appliances, all of that. Like I said, generally speaking, the rest of the house is going to be really nice and light, neutral. So I feel like we can go a lot darker in the kitchen. We're going to have a really nice light oak flooring, so the contrast will be really good. We're going to go white on the walls. So we were originally a little bit scared to go dark, but having seen like the mock-ups of what it's going to look like, we are fully committed. This kind of style is very much us down to a T. We actually really like the dark worktop as well. I'm trying not to give too much away because I'm going to do a full-on like video of what we thought we were going to go for and what we're actually going for, because when we first started designing it, we deviated a little bit from what we thought we were going to go for. We also absolutely love kind of variation in colour in the cabinets. So that's something that we're considering. We love the kind of mix of like the wood and the dark, just to break it up a little bit. Obviously, we're going to try and get in as many cabinets as possible, and there was that kind of worry that it might be a little bit too dark, but this is the kind of vibe that we're really being drawn towards. So let me know if that was the kind of vibe that you guys predicted, if we were going for or not. I know some of you got it very close. I think only one person actually got it spot on, but I'm going to leave that there, and that's all I'm going to say about the kitchen. But we're going to talk about it in a different video. Obviously, I've already said that we are going to be knocking the wall down between the kitchen and the dining room to make it one open space, but it's still going to be very much zoned as like kitchen diner. We are eating into the dining room ever so slightly, I think by about 30 centimeters. So originally their dining table was actually in the middle of the room. We're thinking of shunting it over and having more of a kind of banquet seating style situation. So this was like my #1 kind of inspiration photo. We could still get away with having it in the middle of the room, but I just love this more cozy nook style. So we're thinking of doing like a banquet seating, which is more of like an IKEA hack. It won't look as glam as this, but we're going for like a kind of more budget option of this basically. I also love this table. I am fully obsessed with this table. I actually found one on Facebook Marketplace and it got snapped up too quickly. But I'm keeping my peepers peeled for something like that. I'm sure it'll come up eventually. Anyway, we love that. We are going to keep our black dining chairs because I absolutely love those, but just add bench seating across one wall. We can add a nice bit of artwork on the wall or something like that. I think we're just going to go for the bench rather than the bench and the built-ins, but we haven't ruled anything out. It's something we're just going to look at when we actually get it in the space. In terms of bench seating, this is probably a little bit more accurate as to what we're going to go for. It's maybe more of like a either wood or like white kind of like drawers or cupboards or something that we could still use as storage. Like I said, we want it to be super practical, so having that extra storage will be perfect for like the dog stuff or whatever, but then kind of double up as seating and have some like cushions and stuff as well. We've obviously already kind of temporarily decorated our master bedroom. I thought I would take you through this anyway because This is just a good kind of general vibe for the bedroom styling that we like. It's again just really light, bright, very, very simple, but there's so much more interest in there because they've gone for like a nice wooden bedside table, a nice kind of linen and stuff like that. So this is the kind of vibe that we were going for that kind of inspired our bedroom. This photo actually inspired our wardrobe upcycle. So we kept the existing built-in wardrobes. We even utilized the handles and everything. But this is the photo that I saw that I absolutely loved, that kind of greyish, really nice neutral colour with the black hardware. We're not 100% sure what we're going to do with the wardrobes, because there's a double, and then a skinny double in the middle. What we would like to do, because those wardrobes are huge and they're such good storage, we actually want to remove the middle section and push them to either side, because at the moment there's this really creepy gap kind of behind our TV to the left of the wardrobes, and the wardrobes don't stretch across the whole room, and they're not even centered. It just looks really bizarre. So we're hoping that we can actually separate the wardrobes out, have a double to the left, a double to the right. And I actually saw something like this. So technically this photo has those kind of pocket doors, but what I would really love to do is have a double wardrobe on either side, be able to put our TV in the middle, because we do like watching TV in bed and stuff, and then maybe having some more drawers or something in that middle section. They've obviously gone for more of a dressing table vibe in this photo, but we wouldn't really use a dressing table that much, and we would prefer to have more like drawer storage, because we don't have any room elsewhere in the bedroom to be able to have like a nice big chest of drawers. So be able to maybe DIY something where we can use the existing wardrobe carcasses, push them out, and be able to kind of create more of a built-in drawer situation in the middle is something we're kind of considering. But whether we can actually separate the wardrobes out, if we can't, we will just sell them and try and dismantle them, and just try and do it with like PAX wardrobes or something like that. But fingers crossed we can just use what we already have. So like I said before, how we were going for like the oak floor throughout the whole kind of living spaces, and I said in the bathroom that we wanted to go with the dark floor with the oak vanity, and the dark floor kind of then ties into the dark kitchen that we're going to go for. So again, I wanted to design something different, but then still pull in that same kind of colour palette. So we're looking for going for something a little bit more like this. So obviously our ensuite is nowhere near this big. It's a much smaller room with quite a small window. We want to go for a really nice light tile, but a dark vanity in there. Colour wise, this is kind of where we're leaning. We're definitely looking at doing a walk-in shower similar to that. Whether we have a shower tray or tile it, we're not entirely sure, but we love this kind of natural greyish stone tile that fits in really well with the kind of vibe that we've gone for the bedroom. Black kind of taps, shower, all of that jazz. Nice simple shower screen as well. I'd love to be able to do a shower niche in there as well, something I've always wanted to do. Whether we've got enough room to do that, because we'd have to build it out, I don't know. We're gonna have to see when it comes down to it, and like budget and everything. But I do love that kind of idea, and adding in some like nice plants and things as well, just to kind of give a little bit more colour whilst keeping it really, really nice and neutral. Because we're looking at doing something extremely simple for that bathroom, one thing that I've kind of been looking at doing, whether I DIY it or I can find something like this, is this kind of style vanity where we have more of a slatted front. That kind of slat style is very, very in right now, but again, it's quite versatile. Obviously we're looking at doing a much darker vanity. I don't think we're going to go solid black, but it'll be like a very, very dark charcoaly black. But yeah, having more of a slatted vanity, I think will just give it another little element, and just kind of add a bit more interest rather than just having a super, super simple bathroom. In terms of radiators, we actually already have our radiators for both the bathrooms. We've gone for just really simple black towel radiators in there. But that is the general kind of gist for the house. Obviously, we haven't really bought any of this stuff. We need to buy a lot of furniture. Like even our dining table, we do have a dining table, but since moving our dining table into our new dining room, it looks teeny tiny now. So we need to buy a lot of stuff, and obviously it's all well and good planning stuff, but until you've actually bought it, I feel like plans can always change. But hopefully this has helped give you guys a little bit of an insight into the kind of style and vibe we're looking at going for the house. Like I said before, I know some people will think that this is very boring and neutral, but it's very much our style. We want to keep everything really neutral color wise, yeah, and just add more like texture and things like that to kind of elevate the space a little bit. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really supports my channel. Got lots more coming up for you guys, so keep your peepers peeled, and I will see you guys in the next one.